kind of voting, there are failure of election scenarios anticipated by the process. But now, with this new system, what would be a failure of election scenario or scenarios that you're anticipating at the local level as well as the national level?
It might happen in the local level, but the failure of elections for the national level, we don't see it as happening. In the local, there are some areas, Talaga, for example, because the machines will not work, or because of force intimidation, people not be able to vote. But those are in areas now, but it's not going to be nationwide. As regards to national, we don't see this as happening.
How about in the printing of ballots, which the deadline was by
Yes.
and by that time, all the candidates have been qualified. But what if some candidates are not qualified or there are disputes? What's going to happen if that candidate will go to court and prevent you from printing the ballots? So that by that time, there will be an unreasonable delay because of the judicial process. You would not be anymore able to print the ballots on a nationwide scale and prevent you from actually proceedings.
That's why the filing certificate of candidacy was done early, until the latest will be around 30. The position is that if a voter, if a candidate is not disqualified, at the time where the printing of the ballot is to be done, his name will be included. This includes substitution of a candidate. If a candidate is substituted, but the substitution is done after the period for the submission of names for the printing, it is the candidate who is substituted who is still in the ballot.
Yes, but what about if there will be a delay in qualifying a candidate? Because November 30 is the deadline for the filing of the certificate of candidacy. So between November 13 and January 7 is roughly about 67 days. 67 days, and there's Christmas to contend with, and a lot of holidays. What if there's a dispute on whether the candidate is qualified or not? And the dispute would go to an extent that you would be TRO'd from printing the ballots. Because definitely a candidate who may be disqualified by the government would exert all efforts to make sure that he's qualified by January 7, because if he's not qualified, if his name is not on the ballot, that's a death penalty for him, as far as the election is concerned. So I'm sure that candidate will exert all efforts to prevent you from printing the ballot. What if he succeeds? An injunction or a TRO from the
first, if a candidate, everyone is shown to be qualified. So unless the person or candidate is disqualified, his name will be in the ballot. If a candidate is disqualified and he raises up to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court issues a order, we will abide with that order, whatever it may be.
Have you already resolved the issue of who are qualified to run for president or vice president?
We just followed the Constitution. The qualifications stated in the Constitution are what we...
Is former President W.W. Ramos qualified to run for president? Well, this is the former President Estrada qualified to run for president. So when let's say they decide to run for president, W. Ramos and Estrada, are you going to have the names printed in the ballot unless otherwise directed by an office higher than the COMELEC? Or is it the COMELEC that we decide?
At this point, Congressman, I cannot answer because the Commission has its original body. Whatever we decide as a body, and I'm hopefully it'll just be one member of the commission. I'm not yet confirmed. So I cannot answer this. Unfortunately, I cannot answer this point in time.
But it is your position that the COMELEC will be the one to decide on whether a candidate is qualified or not.
Yes.
But you are subject to the injunction or the TRO by the higher authority.
Yes, by the Supreme Court. But again, I cannot say and I cannot comment regarding that question because the matters will be brought up before the commission.
You present maybe not possible impediment. Supposing you say disqualified and then it goes to the Supreme Court. Of course, one of the remedies that we seek is to prevent him from removing his name from the ballot, because the moment his name is removed from the ballot, it's as good as saying that wala ka na, tapos ka na. So, kita tumatakbo yung deadline ninyo. And I don't know how this matter is going to be treated by the Supreme Court. But if it takes a little longer than what you would normally require to successfully print the ballots, to meet your own deadline, your own administrative deadline, then you may have a problem where the ballots are not ready. And when the ballots are not ready, just like anything else, there could be a failure of elections.
Actually, there are two schools of thoughts there, Commissioner. The first school of thought says that the moment a candidate files a certificate of candidacy, the COMELEC is precluded from deciding whether or not he's qualified until and unless a TRO is read. So the COMELEC is bound to put that to print that. The second school of thought says, no, the COMELEC, motu proprio, can say, no, you're disqualified. So it seems that you're on the other school of thought, which says that the COMELEC has the authority to decide right there and then whether or not a candidate is qualified.
I have to qualify my answer earlier. The question was raised on whether or not we can put his name, but that presupposes that there will be a question regarding the candidate's qualification. The acceptance of a certificate of candidacy is only a ministerial act. So we have to accept a COC. Now, if there's any question regarding the qualification of a candidate, there are proper procedures to follow. And if he's disqualified, his name will be not included in the ballot. Again, this concept, it presupposes that there is a question regarding or dispute regarding his qualification.
We can ask questions later after all the speakers are finished, but if there are very important questions you'd like to raise now, we can still entertain a few short questions from all the members of the